Happy Monday! Welcome to the Pitchline Chronicles, where fans become family. Hope everybody enjoyed their weekend. I did, and so did the Yankees. A lot of the fans had a good weekend. A sweep with the Tigers, who kind of being underestimated, but we're right there in standings with the they put some pretty games together. So it had me a little nervous of where the series was going to go, because we always have a habit of kind of tripping over this team. But this was not last year. This is this year. And Yankees handled their business. They swept the Tigers. Everybody's feeling happy-go-lucky. And, a little bit of controversy. We're going to get into Judge. But I want to start off with that middle game. And that seventh inning, it was just nobody, that was where everything just kind of, the floodgates kind of opened. Not the middle game, the final game. Sorry, last night's game. And that seventh inning where the floodgates just opened up. Get my days. Look, I just told you, I just been running around all morning. But the floodgates opened up. I mean, that was one of those games where it's like you saw kind of the whole series just come to fruition in that one inning, where you saw the patient at bats, the walks, not trying to, not swinging for the home run, just swinging for contact. Yeah, Steve, Sean, I'm back. I am back.
Back already.
But it's
better or for worse, he's back.
Hey, you're stuck with me, guys. This is what you get. You signed up for this, and it's free.
It's free. Let's go.
But it really was a solid series from this team, up and down. Were we tearing the cover off the ball all series? No, but we did enough for the win, and a win is a win. Like that line in Fast and the Furious. Shocking movie reference. It doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. A win's a win. And it goes into the record books as that. So, how are you guys feeling about the series against the Tigers? Is this a series where you saw those innings where they can build off of and just keep this momentum going and start really keeping pace with the other top teams?
It was a good bounce back series after that dud in Baltimore, that's for sure. A lot of guys we wanted to step up did step up. Rizzo, Judge, specifically those two. Pitching was really good as well. Nestor had a really good game yesterday. So it was just an all-around good series. You needed that. We could have been perfectly fine with the series win, but the fact that we got the sweep was very important just to get back on track a little bit. Hopefully it builds up their confidence starting tomorrow with the big series with Houston. Despite their record, they're always going to play you tough. So the Yankees just need to keep building wins, keep stacking wins however you can get them, and just forget that Baltimore series and move forward. And that's exactly what they did. To come away with the sweep after that, we were feeling pretty about that Baltimore series, even despite our good record. To bounce back that way was huge. Pitching was good, aside from a couple of guys out of the bullpen. I'm worried about Ian Hamilton. And just overall, the bats did their job. Big hits coming from each part of the lineup, Judge specifically. And then, of course, who can forget yesterday with the big hit in the rain by Juan Soto. So he just seems to come through at any given moment. And this is what you want to see. Different players stepping up at different times. And that's what makes a good offense. Eventually, it's going to get going like all together. But we're starting to see some key cogs get going again. Judge and Rizzo specifically. Torres had a couple of hits sprinkled in there. His at-bats have been a little bit better. Still don't like what I'm seeing from Anthony Volpe, but just a great series to get 3 wins against a Tigers team that's been playing pretty well, like you said. So that's huge.
The key
Donald,
for the series,
your assessment.
The key for the series for me was the 9th inning of Game 1. Once Stanton broke the deadlock with that RBI, and just kind of was like everything. It was like a huge relief. Like it was just like that piano that was on the Yankees' back where they couldn't hit at all for the entire 4-game stretch against the Orioles was just kind of relieved with that single by Stanton. And then Rizzo stepping up, getting his hit. Yankees get the win, they get the walk off, and from there on, it just felt like there was a different vibe about the Yankees, and they carried that on through the rest of the series, including getting some runs off Skubal, who's just phenomenal. Tariq Skubal is one of the best pitchers in baseball right now. And, 12 strikeouts in 6 innings, but yet the Yankees still managed to put 2 runs across the board on him, which is a pretty good sign considering how good he is. This stuff is ridiculous, electric. So the Yankees did pretty well. They weren't perfect, but they got the sweep. And a lot of it came down to just how it all changed in that ninth inning of game one. You think, had that not worked out the way it worked out for us, wonder whether that would have carried forward, and maybe snowball. But that clutch hit, having the fans back on side, fans cheering, walk off celebrations, it changed the energy, changed the dynamic, because there was a different energy with that Orioles series. It was kind of like a low ebb. It was kind of like, but once that ninth inning came along, boom, it changed everything, because the first 8 innings was pretty miserable.
Yeah.
Then, boom, it all changed, and then from then on, it was a very positive series, very positive. The pitching was great throughout, and the clutch hitting was fantastic. So, job done. Move on. It's all about just winning series, baby. Racking up those series, because this is going to be a one hell of a fight between the Yankees and the Orioles for the division.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think we're going to give the Orioles a run for their money, the next meeting. But I think one of the things that stood out the most with this particular series were the guys that were the contributors to the rallies. It's the guys we're expecting to have the those big games. Judge, Stanton, Rizzo, Soto. Those are the four that you're expecting, that this team is relying on to kind of give the boost to the rest of the offense. So, Rizzo had a great series. Stanton also had a great, I think he kind of goes, it's kind of strange to see him go under the radar. What's going on, Angelo? Welcome to the Pitch Chronicles from Sweden. All right. Awesome.
Beautiful. We love it.
Welcome. It's
a beautiful country.
A lot of good things about Sweden. Hear good things, but no, it's Stanton's one of those guys that he's kind of gone under the radar of how well he's been doing. We all want to highlight. He had a strikeout in this spot. He runs really slow. We know that. He's a home. He's an all or nothing type of hitter. He's not a base runner. And they've pretty much eliminated him from any time on the field. So the fact that he's been able to, I think he's coming to his own, where he's accepting his role. Where, look, I'm not the guy I was in Miami. I'm not in the National League without a DH where I have to play every day. And we've been big proponents of, look, play him. He plays better when he's on the field. And I still think he's going to start. I think he's going to get some time in the outfield at some point. But they want to really keep him. They want to get his bat going, because that's where he can contribute the most to his resume. But Stanton, I think, had a great series.
He had a clutch series. That was the most important thing. Every time, he's not interested unless there's runners in scoring position. Runners in scoring position, he's like, I'm coming through for y'all. Because he's clutch. He is clutch. That's just what he always has been. He's always been clutch for the Yankees. He really has been. He's had a lot of big moments. It's just about keeping him healthy, keeping him on the field. It's been the big thing about Big G. But he came through when the Yankees needed him this series. That's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, he had a hit in every game, and a couple of RBIs as well, and obviously the big walk-off. But Donald was right. That inning there, because the first 8 of that game were just the same as it was in Baltimore. It was unwatchable baseball. The pitching was fantastic, and here comes the offense to ruin everything. And it looked like we were going to get shut out again. And then they came through. Judge with the hit to start things off, and then everyone just kept piggybacking off each other. Stanton drives in the run, then Rizzo pokes one through the infield for the win. And the energy was up after that. Everyone was happy. There was all smiles. Everyone's clapping and jumping and going crazy. And there you go. Now you get a sweep. So hopefully that changes the attitude of the team a little bit, changes the energy, because it was pretty low after that Baltimore series. You can see it in their faces, with the exception of a couple of guys that were smiling, but you knew like the energy was down. The vibes were down there, but now they're back up. Hopefully they can just keep winning. It's important. It's a great bounce back series. And for Giancarlo Stanton, he's been just fine. He's been healthy, knock on wood. He's been healthy, and he's hitting in clutch spots. He does have, I think, 6 home runs, which is second on the team or third behind Judge now. He's getting the job done when we need him to. And it's better than what you could have expected from him. A lot of people thought this guy's he's washed. He's not going to do anything. That he's lost the weight. He's going to have no power. Well, that's not true, because he is still one of the top guys in home runs on the team. And we're one of the top home run hitting teams.
Bat speed is still crazy good.
It's still very good. The exit velocity is still very good. So look, I said it before the season. If he's a low average, high slugging, high power type of guy, you're going to take that from him right now. And that's what we're getting. So Giancarlo Stanton, so far, so good.
Let's say hello to the chat. What's up, chat? Really cool to have, it looks like a new member of the family here with Angelo. Go Yankees. Yo, yo, yo. Salute to you. Sub up if you haven't already done so. Thank you for joining us all the way from Sweden. So I assume that it would be what? Let's see what time it would be in Sweden. It would be what? 4 p.m., 4:15 p.m. in Sweden, I believe. What else we got here? We got Cold Italian Pizza. Salute. The best name on YouTube. Deb Finch, what up? Loyal supporter. Jones says, if it's a choice between Dominguez when healthy or Stanton, I choose Dominguez. Both good problems as far as I'm concerned. We need Dominguez. His athleticism is going to be fantastic. I'm very excited about him. But don't write off Big G, because Big G comes up in big spots. Now, he strikes out a lot. No doubt about it. He struck out 42 times already this year. But if you put him in runners in scoring position, his numbers are excellent runners in scoring position. And it's been shown all this past series. He comes up. He comes good. When the pressure's on, he turns up the most. So you can't teach that. So don't give up on Big G yet. That's my advice. Well, we got Damian Serrano. Salute to you, Damian. Stevie B, salute. NFE, salute. Miguel Batista. Yo, yo, yo. What is happening? And we have Frederick. Salute to you. Joe Coelho. Salute, Jonathan. Salute to you, Jonathan. And FJ and Fortrain. What up, Mazza? How are you doing, my guy? It's great to see everybody up and early. CWE even joining us as well. Everyone's joining us. And Medina. Love meeting you at Beats event, Medina. You are the man. Thank you so much for your loyal support. Yeah, good series, guys. And if you haven't already done so, hit the like button, hit the sub button, share it out to everybody. Let's continue to grow this channel as we have been at an exponential rate since the start of this year. Let's go, Pinstripe Chronicle family.
Yep, like we said, with the subscribe, our goal is 700 right now is our next plateau. We are 52 away from that goal. So we appreciate everybody. And Joan, more importantly, how much does the puppy weigh now? At 4 months old, her last weigh-in was 51 pounds. Yeah. And Joan, I will email you some updated pictures. I know you've been dying to see the progression of her growth. So I will definitely send you some updated pics through email. This is what we've been waiting to see with this lineup, and with the middle of the lineup particularly is that passing of the baton like we've been referring to, but it also the start of the order, yeah, you're 1, 2, 3. I mean, Soto and Judge are holding their own, and we have, with Volpe, you could almost see him starting to revert back to what he was. I think he readjusted his stance back to the start of the season. We just haven't seen the results of it yet.
I don't think so at all. His Savant page, the start of the season, was as red as Satan's took us, and now it's like blue. So he's ice cold. So I hate it because I love Volpe. I still think they got to drop him back to the bottom of the order. Just he was so comfortable down there, and I'm going to keep dying on this hill. Hopefully, he proves me wrong sooner than later, because this is further than a slump now. This is like a month's worth of bad baseball from him, because he was great for the first 8 games, and then since going up to the top of the order, he's been a completely different player. And we saw this last year, like, oh, he's got a couple of big hits sprinkled in, but the overall performance is bad. His numbers have plummeted. Overall, like, oh, he's hitting like 250. That's not bad, but he was hitting like 400. So that average, we knew that average was going to drop, but like, had they waited a little bit longer, given him a little bit more of a sample size to hit the bottom of the order, that would have been better. I'm hoping that he can get it going the way Judge has been getting going, Rizzo's been getting going. Hopefully that kind of domino effect hits him next, but there's a lot of pressure hitting at the top of the order with Soto and Judge behind you, because you kind of have to you have to set the table. That's why I thought it was too soon. Now I know there's a lot of uncertainty with LeMahieu's injury, but you had Verdugo from the start. You had Birdie before he got hurt. Birdie's probably a better leadoff option. He's a speed guy as well. Maybe they try that out. I just think they need to drop Volpe. I don't know if it would kill his confidence or feel like a demotion, but at this point, he's been so bad that it's almost like an automatic out to start the inning. And I'm hoping that changes soon, but he's not looked good. And again, I can't keep saying the same thing over and over, because I said it Friday and I said it Wednesday, but they need to think about that.
Yeah, I think with Volpe, look, I would highly doubt that moving him back down the lineup would kill his confidence, because they have given him ample opportunity to kind of snap out of it. And it's not you can't, in a team game like baseball, you can't worry about individual feelings. The goal is to win games and put players in the positions where they can be successful. If they move him back to the 6th spot, it's because they want him to be successful. Not that it's a punishment. Look, here's where your strength is. We're going to make you the strongest player we can. Like, that's the approach they need to take with this. Not like, well, you suck at leadoff, so we're moving you down. But more of, we're gonna put you where you are a superstar, and you can be an all-star player. It's all, it's, I don't want to say kind of, pussyfooting around the negative batting averages over the last couple of weeks, but not, wording it where you're not just going to destroy the guy, because you don't want to just make it seem like a demotion. You want to word it where you're helping the guy, and I think we'll see those numbers climb back up once he's out of the leadoff spot. I think we're giving it enough of a try, and it's just not working.
That's a good point, because everything they do with Glaber affects him. It's clear as day that's what happens with him. So every time he gets dropped in the order or switched positions or trade rumors pop up, it's like it hits him where right in the head. It hits him in the head, and he starts to let everything else get affected by it. But it's not like you can't be a good major league player hitting at the bottom of the order. I know his skill set is leadoff because he's got the speed and contact, but how many players have we had in our championship years? Remember 2009, Cano was hitting 7th. He made it look just fine hitting the bottom of that order. Jorge Posada had an entire career hitting at the bottom of the order, and I don't think anybody was like, maybe they should bat him 4th. No, you can be a very good major league player. The Yankees want this kid to be the shortstop, maybe even second base down the line for the next 15 years, at least. Maybe 12, whatever. They want him here for his entire career. That was the goal. That's why they didn't sign any of those free agent shortstops, because Anthony Volpe was the future. if you can get him back to the way he was hitting in those first 8 games, we know he's not going to hit 400, but if he can be a 270 hitter in the bottom of the order, that makes your lineup deeper. Your lineup is so much deeper because now the 7, 8, 9 is not this automatic out. Because right now you're looking at Trevino. He sometimes gets a hit, other times he'll be 0 for 4. Wells can't catch a break. Cabrera has been up and down. And when they put Trent Grisham out there, it's an automatic out. So you kind of need to get some depth at the bottom of the order, and that's what he was doing early on. It's like there wasn't an automatic out in the bottom of the order. And I don't care who's hitting in front of Soto and Judge. Soto's going to have his at bat no matter who's in front of him, who's behind him. So I just think that for Volpe, try to get him back to what he was doing, put him back in the 6 or 7 spot. And if he starts hitting again, don't move him again. That's what I said before the season. Don't move him if he starts off hot. And that's exactly what they did. And it took him a week to be like, okay, lead off. And I think it was just too much.
Too soon. Yeah.
Too much too soon. Yeah.
Because, I don't think it's that he mentally can't handle it. I just, the way it was handled, I think was just it was a bad approach, especially from a PR point of view, and I like NFE's idea of, working Birdie more into the lineup and having him lead off and keep Verdugo a cleanup, because I think Verdugo is really, and he's doing well in that role, even though Verdugo was always the leadoff from, was mostly a leadoff from Boston. So he's also accustomed to that role as well. So, with Stanton and Rizzo kind of heating up a little bit, do you shake it up and just, move Volpe back down, put Verdugo at leadoff, and, continue to just kind of, depending on the matchups with the starting pitching, to have either Rizzo or Stanton in the cleanup spot. And there's multiple ways that they can adjust the lineup and still keep everybody at their strength.
Well, DJ's injury really affected everything because we wouldn't be having this conversation if he was healthy. But I still think they should try Birdie out there. Or if they want to keep Verdugo fourth to split up the lefties a little bit, fine. But if this means Gleyber Torres doesn't play every single day, then put Birdie in the lineup, see if he can get some hits, because he got a hit, I think, in his first start the other day, or yesterday. I don't remember when his first start back was. Put him in the lineup. He's got speed. We need it. We need so much more speed than we have right now. I think Birdie can do just fine if he's playing third or second. Maybe he plays second and you keep Cabrera at third, but you want speed at the top of the order. John Birdie gives you that.
Donald, what do you think about the mixture of the lineup?
Well, also have to bear in mind what happens when DJ LeMahieu gets back. Maybe DJ LeMahieu might be a leadoff candidate. I'd certainly move Volpe down to the 6 hole. I think that's where he's most comfortable. That's where he was batting 400 or 500 until we moved him up. I know the long-term plan is for him to be the leadoff hitter. I think he'll be very, very good long-term there, but it was a little soon. I think it was a little soon, but bear in mind, there are elements to slumps. Everyone's kind of slumped at some point, apart from Soto. Soto was unslumpable, but everyone has had slumps already to this point, and maybe the Yankees are trying to be patient with him. But I don't think he's mentally weak like Gleyber Torres. He's not. I think he'll be happy to bat wherever the Yankees ask him to bat, and I don't think it'll be an issue. I think the long-term plan has always been for him to lead off. No problem. Rushed it a little because they got a little excited because he was so good. But it wasn't just an element of that. It was also because Gleyber Torres is malfunctioning at leadoff, so they had to move him down. And then they're like, who else is going to lead off in that spot? Maybe Verdugo, but Verdugo wasn't really hitting at that point. Now Verdugo's hitting. But I'll tell you what, guys, I don't mind Verdugo in the middle of the order right now. He adds that little bit of athleticism. He breaks up the lefties and righties, and he's provided some important at-bats. Now, even though he had 2 hits, which I went for a combined distance of about 25 feet, they were still very important singles. It just kept everybody moving. And one of them, including in the 9th inning, I was a smart Smart bunt, man. Excellent idea. That's the kind of thing that we probably would have had if it was just a straight, Stanton, Rizzo, Torres, middle of the order. You wouldn't have had that little bunt to break things up, move the runners over, that little bit of speed, that little bit of athleticism, that smart baseball IQ. So let's not overlook that and where Verdugo is in the middle of the order. So there's a lot to think about. I'm glad that Birdie's back, but I think Birdie's comfortable in ninth spot. He'll be like the second leadoff hitter. I don't foresee the Yankees breaking things up until DJ LeMahieu's back. And then once DJ LeMahieu is comfortable seeing pitches again, you might see a situation where he's back leading off. And then that means that you can move Volpe down to about the 6-7 hole. And I think that lengthens the lineup, deepens the lineup. But one thing that we're still ignoring is Gleyber Torres. What's going to happen with this? Now that Birdie's back, it should take away some at-bats from Torres. And once DJ LeMahieu's back, you could make the argument that Torres shouldn't be playing at all. I'll be happy to see that. MH, it's Cannoli Don, yo. What up, man?
With all the setbacks with DJ, are the Yankees taking too much of a gamble that he'll be back sooner rather than later? I don't think that at this stage it's smart, organizationally smart, to just keep putting all their eggs into DJ's basket. If we have a player like Birdie who can kind of go third and second, just like LeMahieu would, the only extra is LeMahieu could also take first base.
I'm not saying they're putting all the eggs in DJ's basket. If they were putting all their eggs in DJ's basket, they wouldn't have made the trade for Birdie at all. Birdie's here as a utility guy, so he's going to have a lot of opportunities. I mean, I'm just talking from my personal opinion that I want less Gleyber and more other people because I think Gleyber is an issue. But I don't think that's the Yankees' opinion. The Yankees are very much committed to Gleyber Torres. So, in the meantime, Oswaldo Cabrera is playing an excellent season so far at third base with his clutch hitting. You got Birdie that can mix in there at third. He can also play second at a high level. And then you got DJ when he's back. Only good problems to have. I'm just excited that DJ's back because I think it'll be important. His glove, his IQ, all things that this middle infield needs because we've made far too many errors in the middle infield. It continues to rear its ugly head. So once he's back, that's going to improve things. His at-bat quality is going to improve things. His contact ability is going to improve things. So there's things to be excited about. But hey, we're talking about all the negative things. Let's talk about some of the positive things. Let's talk about Juan Soto clearing the bases. Let's talk about Aaron Judge. You know what I noticed about Aaron Judge? I was talking with Rob in the previous podcast, and I was breaking down his swing. And I noticed that his hind foot was collapsing a little bit when he was making contact. So he was rolling over on pitches, and he was popping up pitches to shallow left field. If anyone noticed, his hind leg was spot on, and he was driving the ball. So it looks like his swing is back. So it looks like it was a timing issue with a little bit of mechanics. And it has been tightened up because this past series, it was vintage Aaron Judge in terms of driving the ball and proper transference of weight between his lower half and both legs, and he's driving the ball through. That hind leg wasn't collapsing. It was staying strong, and that's how he was able to drive the ball through. That's why you were seeing some better at-bats. That's why you were seeing the home runs. And it looks like Aaron Judge is finally coming out of it and looks like the Aaron Judge that we all know and love. Judge said he made adjustments. Well, there you go. You see? He was watching the Pinstripe Chronicles.
Well, yeah, that's what we were saying there. I think I commented on the show Friday. It's it might be him just trying to readjust his swing and his stance, with the toe, because it does, it was a displacement of his weight. So maybe he finally figured out the adjustment where it's like, okay, if I take this stance and this swing, it alleviates any of the pressure on that foot. So yeah, I don't think any of us thought he was hurt. We were just trying to figure out why his mechanics were off, because it didn't fit to his stature.
And we always knew he was going to turn around eventually because he's too
Yeah.
good not to. It was just important that it happened in the very next series after that bad series in Baltimore. The entire offense, aside from Soto and Cabrera, stunk against Baltimore, but Judge had a really bad series after he was on fire in Milwaukee. So to see him bounce back against some good pitching, he took Skubal deep, which is huge yesterday. That I didn't see that coming, honestly. I didn't think we were going to hit him at all. The dude was pitching out of his mind. So the fact that we put up 2 early runs against him was very important. Yeah, and I'm not going to listen to the fans. Some of these fans' opinions about the Yankees right now when we're 10 games over 500, you think that we were 10 games under with the way that they're playing. I understand being upset about the shutouts. I'm not happy about them either, but every time this team loses, the season's over, some of these people. So I'm not going to comment on what's going on Twitter because that's a goddamn cesspool. But anyone who watches baseball can tell you that Aaron Judge's timing was off. Anyone who watches baseball, who's watched baseball long enough, can tell you that's not the Aaron Judge swing that we know. And he's made adjustments. He said he would make adjustments. You see him constantly watching his at-bats after his at-bats. And if there's one person I trust or 2 people I trust to make an adjustment when necessary, he's one of them. The other one is number 22, and he also plays for the New York Yankees. So I knew that this was going to happen eventually with Judge. It was just a matter of when, not if. And I'm glad it happened very quickly. Now, the important thing is it needs to happen in the next series. It can't be a one series good, another series bad. It needs to continue. He needs to keep piggybacking off these good series with better series, and then we can fully say Aaron Judge is back. But right now, he did exactly what we asked him to do. We were talking about it last week. He needs to come out and have a big series against Detroit and be the leader that we need him to be. He did that. And it started in that first game. Everyone was talking about Judge set the table for that rally. And that was the main topic. He gets on base. He wasn't looking for the home run. He just got on base, had a good hit through the middle, and then the domino effect. You get the bunt, then Stanton, and then Rizzo, and there's a victory. So we needed him to do that, and that's exactly what he did. Now, do it again. That's all I'm asking. Keep doing that.
This is a big take right here. Talking more about the knuckleheads saying that Soto is the real captain, making these ridiculous remarks about Judd. A lot of people in NYU are saying that Soto is the leader of the team right now. In fact, I think I've pretty much argued that Soto is kind of the leader of the team right now. I'm not saying he's the captain of the team, just Soto.
No, I think the knuckleheads he's referring to are the ones that were just, that had already just given up completely on Judge. And we're trying to use this as this is why you didn't want to, this is why I didn't want to sign him. He's always, so using that narrative. Because I saw that a little bit on social media as well.
Stay off Twitter.
Yeah,
I've really been trying to limit my time on there, but I just,
that's crazy talk. We're black.
Just push those comments
for
aside.
the next 10 years.
Yeah, and John, you're right. You can have 2 leaders. It's not like, just because Judge is the captain means everybody gets to sit back and relax.
That's right. I mean, just look at the 98 team. That team was full of leaders. Paul O'Neill, leader. Bernie Williams, quiet leader. Derek Jeter, leader. Roger Clemens in 99, leader. Andy Pettit, leader. Mo, leader. Just that whole team had leaders,
Darryl Strawberry, puncher.
Tino Martinez, leader. Posada was basically another manager. So they had a whole roster of leaders. But for sure, this year, I think Soto's taken a huge leadership role along with Garrett Cole. And I think Verdugo is adding the energy that this team needs.
Yeah. it's I want to get to the awards coming up. Because there's a lot to dive into with those, especially off a sweep. But let's talk about the ejection from Judge and these, soft umpires that just, you yell at them and they cower in their corner. They hide behind their face mask and don't want to be, and think that they run everything. These umpires have got to stop making themselves the story. Okay. Aaron Judge has had the worst strike zone in baseball history. And the one time he gets aggravated, you're going to eject him from the game. Grow a fucking pair of balls. Okay. And what we should do is have everybody donate so we can send that umpire some new underwear. Because as soon as Judge turned around, he shit himself. Because that dude, the umpire, standing next to Judge was, he looked my size. So, the umpires definitely had a panic at that point, going, "Oh crap, this guy could twist me like a pretzel without a problem." And I just threw him out of the game. Was Judge finally in the because my first reaction was it's about time that Judge got pissed off that he keeps getting these strikeout calls on pitches that weren't even in the strike zone. And normally he just shakes his head and he walks away. He's finally had enough. Good for him.
He didn't even say anything.
No, he really didn't say anything out of turn. I thought they would have ejected Rizzo too with his comment from the dugout.
Rizzo's was worse. That's the softest shit I've ever seen. You didn't need a lip reader for that one. Everything that you knew what he said. But what did Judge say? That's bullshit. You've been bullshit all game, and he gets thrown out. Mm-hmm. And the umpire goes, "You can't say I've been bullshit all game." He looked like an evil. Sal Licata's already evil, but he looked like another version of Sal Licata out there. And I was just like, this is. MLB has to step in and do something about this because it's not just us. The strike zone in general was terrible all series for both sides. They were bad calls. It's been that way all season. We're just over a month into the season, and we've been talking about these umpires almost every single week. There's been at least one conversation about these umpires, whether it's Angel Hernandez doing his stupidity or this jackass from the other day throwing out Judge. It's ridiculous and it's bad, and they know that their power is about to be taken away a little bit when these robot umps come. So we've had this conversation before. They know their time is coming up where they're just kind of just going to be standing there and giving out the calls from the computer. So they're going to go out with the bang, so to speak, saying, you want to cast us aside. We're going to show you what you're going to be missing. We're not going to miss you. Trust me. We're not going to miss any of you morons throwing out Aaron Judge for no reason, showing up a young pitcher on the mound in Luis Heel, Angel Hernandez making the game about himself, throwing out it's ridiculous. Rosen getting thrown out the other day. These guys, I think it was Joe.
Thrown out for literally saying nothing, just sitting there. And he got thrown out.
So it's bad. These guys suck.
We talk about the ejections with the Yankees, but it's been throughout baseball. These umpires, this year especially, it just seemed, it comes off like they have such a quick hook to throw everybody out of the game. It's like, are you trying to eliminate your own job? Are you so fed up with the way that you guys negotiated your contract?
Yeah.
That you want yourselves fired? So they can bring these robots in?
Well, they can't get fired. They know that. They cannot get fired. But there
lies the problem. Well, no, they got their panties in a bunch, so they're pissed off at the players. They're pissed off at everybody. It seems like Boone's got a target on his back because he gets ejected so much. It's like anytime, he wasn't even the one that made the comment. His last ejection, a fan got Boone ejected. It's getting so out of hand that there's the only solution is to implement a challenge system for balls and strikes. And ejections it should be, somebody had called the fan on Saturday nights overnight and was saying how perhaps what they should do is when you want to eject a player, you have to convene with the entire staff. So all the umpires would come, like, is this warranted? Or like the home plate umpire would have to kind of meet with, the first base or third base umpire. Be like, all right, well, what did we see? Before making these ejections. Well, because something's got to change, even if it's something minimal. Because these umpires, they're too power hungry, and it's really disrupting the game. Where here it is, every series, like you said, Rob, you're right. We're having a conversation about something that went wrong with the umpires. This was never an issue growing up. It's got to stop. It's got to. There has to be a change somewhere.
Yeah, throwing somebody out for saying your bullshit is over the top.
Soft.
He didn't even say your bullshit. The call was bullshit, and he did it while he was walking away. So he was actually a distance from the umpire. He was saying under his breath as he was walking away. That is not an ejectable offense. This is the umpire's villain arc. They've come together, and I'm telling you, this is obviously pre-decided. This obviously has to have something to do with, they're not getting the respect that they feel they deserve, not getting equal pay, whatever it is, or maybe them trying to fight against the robot ump, whatever it is, they have come together and they are making it about themselves. Not just the Yankees. It's around baseball, but because we watch the Yankees every day, it's crazy. What Aaron Judge, for the first time in his entire life, that includes high school ball, college, as a kid, anytime throughout his career, minor league ball, and his generational Hall of Fame run that he's going so far in his career. And this is the first time he's ever been ejected. And what for? Muttering under his breath his bullshit call. Moving on. There have been much worse instances. Much worse instances than that. Right? And nothing ever gets done. So why is Judge getting targeted? Why is Boone getting the target on his back because he's just standing there? It was a fan that said something. And the umpire was like, I don't care who said it. Well, you should fucking care who said it. Because that's what it's about. So, when's it going to change? How's it going to stop? Like, what is going on here? Why can't they just focus on doing their jobs? Call balls and strikes. And call the game fairly on both sides. And go home. That's all you're asked to do. That's all. It's nothing about you. It's not about you, but they are making it up then. Hernandez especially, but that sucker you threw out Aaron Judge just for being soft. They're all too soft. They're all far too freaking soft. And they're also far too protected as well. And that's my big issue. Major League Baseball are protecting them for doing terrible jobs. There's umpires right now with 67% correct call rate, and nothing gets done. There's umpires that are throwing people up for no reason. Nothing gets done. They're making the bad calls that's costing games, costing results, and in the end it'll cost teams, players money, right, by their terrible decision making. But nothing gets done on their side. When will it start? When they threw out Aaron Boone for no reason because a fan said something, that umpire should have been banned from the game, suspended for 2 weeks, at least, without pay. There has to be some kind of level of accountability from Major League Baseball that these people aren't doing their jobs correctly. So this little clown with small dick energy threw out Aaron Judge for no reason, he should be suspended for a week, right? Oh no, he said the word bullshit. You big fucking baby.
You know, could it be like if a player or a manager gets ejected, they get a fine? Why can't MLB, like when Boone got ejected because of the fan, MLB stepped in and then they negated his fine. Like, look, you don't have to pay your fine. It should have never happened. Right? Why can't they just turn around and be like, look, tell the umpires, if you're going to throw somebody out, you better make sure that it's reasonable, within reason. Because otherwise, if we feel like they were unfairly ejected, they're not getting the fine, you are. Start hitting them in the pocket. Right? We're always talking about you hit them in the pocket, you can make a change. Well, maybe it's time to start doing that to the umpires. Give them the fine if they want to make the story about themselves. And I'm sure that Angel Hernandez, he would owe money for the rest of his life and his family's life. The fines he would get. Because what was it, a couple years ago with the Boston game, where they hit three of his, they challenged almost all of his calls, and they were all overturned. And he's just standing there like, oh my bad. I'm getting paid. I don't give a shit. It's not my stat line. It's not going to affect me because I'm just going to sue everybody until I get what I want anyway.
It's rough. How about we move on to the awards?
Yes. Take it away, Donald.
What no one has got to say. Hi guys from PR. Jason Ringo back soon. My question is, to bring Spencer Jones, where will he play? Great question. Let's start with Rob.
It won't be till next year, and I would assume it's going to be center field, but it could be a hybrid role for the first year or so, couple of years. Yeah, I think center field most likely because of his skill set, but if they need to get his bat in there, first base could be an option, but they need to play him at first base before they do that. I just don't see a scenario where that happens yet because they haven't done it yet, which leads me to think they won't do it at all.
Yeah, you're probably looking at Soto and right. Judge will be locked in at center. So that leaves left field and possibility of first base. So I think maybe Dominguez plays left field, or unless they move Aaron Judge to left field, Dominguez plays center field. And then that leaves first base over for Spencer Jones and then a hybrid role. And that I think that's all for next year, but it's going to be very, very interesting. Because they're going to be incredible people. Incredible ball players. Spencer Jones, the sky's the limit with Spencer Jones. And Dominguez has already shown it. He's fantastic. So I'm very excited about both of them. As for this year, I guess Dominguez will be sharing time. Maybe a little bit of, I don't know, but a little bit of center field. Maybe he'll get some time just at DH. I know he's a good outfielder, but just not to rush him.
And his arm.
Yeah, because of his arm. So you might be seeing him spend some time in DH, maybe share time with Stanton at DH. That's probably my idea with that. But it's a good problem to have because Dominguez is going to be fantastic. But Verdugo's just done an expert job in left field, so I wouldn't expect the left field job to be open.
Right.
In fact, Aaron Judge just said that Verdugo's the best left fielder he's ever played with, apart from Brett Gardner.
And he hasn't had many other options. Who else? Yeah, Aaron.
Well, I mean, not that the resume for that is long.
It's not a huge statement.
I mean, who is your other left field? Aaron Hicks. I mean, the competition for Verdugo as the best left fielder he's played with. We're not talking about world beaters here.
Hey, come on! Don't diminish Willie Calhoun.
Oh, you get the legend himself. Yeah. But no,
Right,
I
guys.
don't. I really don't know what they're gonna do with Soto. You know, so but
Soto.
Spencer Jones.
Let's just get to the awards. All right,
Yeah,
MVP, guys. Let's start with. I hesitate to ask Uncle T.
Soto. That hit yesterday to secure the sweep. Yeah, and he's again, he's just man, it's hard to vote against him for the top performer every series.
That's true. Let's ask Rob.
If Anthony Rizzo had played yesterday, I would have probably given it to him if he had a good game, but I'm giving it to Judge. He had 5 hits, hit the home run yesterday off Scuba, got the scoring started the rally in the walk-off game. Captain, oh captain, my captain, give me the MVP.
Let's ask the fans. So, NFP says Soto. Stevie B says Judge. Sean says Rizzo. Jones says Judge. This is a hot contested battle.
Strikes up. Yeah, NFT's changing his to Judge.
Okay. And Frederick saying Judge. Looks like Judge is going to win. Anybody else come up with their votes? Hit the vote. What do you think? It looks like Judge is going to win here. Oh! Ross Dad jumps in there with a bit of Soto. Oh, yeah. That's why you can never count out. We're counting every vote. Jonathan, this Soto's coming back. Lou says Soto.
And Spencer just texted me. He's giving his vote to Clark Schmidt.
Oh, come on.
He's becoming an almost sure thing on the mound.
Well, there's also a pitching award, so we could maybe save that.
Yep. I'm just going by what he's asking me to say.
Looks like Soto took it.
Looks like Soto has come back in the end, last second, when looks like Soto's going to win. My guy, Juan Soto. Well, me. So the fans will vote for Soto. Now, my opinion. I was pretty sure it's going to be Aaron Judge. Because Aaron Judge, overall, through the series, has had the better series. He's come up more. He hit the big home runs. But it's a tough one. I can't tell. It's between Judge and Soto. It's like a real battle there because Soto
there's no wrong answer.
Bases clearing RBI saved us. But there's also a clutch award too. Considering I gave Aaron Judge such a hard time in the last episode, I'm gonna give Aaron Judge the MVP. He was the better player through the series. So low-key MVP. Let's start with Rob.
I'm gonna give it to Rizzo. Walk-off hit, and he had 2 good games back-to-back, which him and Judge were the 2 guys that I was keying in on to have big series. I'm expecting it from Soto at this point. Not to say that his series wasn't good, but Rizzo needed it. He really needed to have a good series, and I was curious as to why they sat him yesterday, but I guess lefty, but whatever. I think Rizzo had a great series, though, and he's starting to look a little bit more focused at the plate. So I'm going to give it to Anthony Rizzo.
T.
My low-key MVP, I'm actually going to go with Stanton. It just seemed like every rally that they were in, he was in the middle of. And like you were saying with Judge, how he's been kind of getting a beating lately. This has been probably Stanton's best series of the season. So I'm gonna say Stanton's the low-key MVP.
I like that one. Let's go to the fans. It looks like there's 3 for Rizzo, 1 for Cabrera. So it looks like Rizzo is going to get the award. Oh, Jonathan's coming in with Cabrera. It's 3-2.
And to Sean's point, yeah, Rizzo's pretty much played every game. He was due for a day off.
Medina's
Cabrera
come back
ties
with
it.
Cabrera, and now Oswaldo has come
Oh,
roaring
I like
back to tie
Cabrera.
it. And next vote wins. Oh, next vote wins. It's going to be either Cabrera or Rizzo, guys. Give me your vote.
Someone
Oh.
breaks the
CVP votes
tie.
Rizzo. CVP
Rizzo.
has broke the tie with Anthony Rizzo. All right. Now, my opinion. I'm going to go with Uncle T. I'm going to go with Big G. It's a tough one, but basically every single time that we needed a clutch RBI, Big G stepped up. And we don't win game one without Big G. And had the third base coach not stopped Soto from running, he would have gotten another RBI yesterday. Because he got another hit with runners in scoring position. I'm surprised that they held Soto up at third. I think he would have scored. With the rain, I think it would have been very difficult throw and catch to make. So I think they should have sent the runner, and that would have been another ribby for Stanton. Otherwise, Stanton's come through. So give me Big G for the low key MVP, but doesn't diminish from what Rizzo did.
No.
Rizzo obviously had the walk off and was fantastic. Who's the Cy Young for the series, Jonathan? Good job. That's the next award anyway. The pitching award. Let's start with Raw.
Nestor Cortez. He had a great game yesterday. Got 9. He's been dare I say, our best starter so far. He's the one that's given us the most length. Nestor Cortez pitched fantastic. And Luis Heel did not pitch in the series, Dad.
All right. Let's ask the fans. So we've got 2 votes for Big G. Did Big G pitch? What am I missing here? Luis Heel, what's happening, everybody? Pitcher. I said pitcher. People that throw. And Luis Heel didn't throw. Right. Okay, we've got plenty of votes for Cortez. Looks like we've actually got 4 or 5 votes. So that's a lot of votes for Nestor. Looks like Nestor wins the fans. Let's ask Uncle Tats.
Yeah, well, Spencer's saying, we know Schmidt's going to be his pick, so 1 vote for Schmidt. But, yeah, Nestor's been probably most consistent as far as getting the innings in there. Yeah, Nestor's been phenomenal this year. I don't know where he's going to fall like in that the All-Star bullshit, but he's I think Schmidt's actually making a strong case to be an All-Star. He's actually our first starter with 3 wins.
Wow.
But after Nestor yesterday, nothing phases him. If he doesn't have his stuff, he's able to easily adjust to keep us in the game, to keep him giving length, taking the pressure off of the pen. So I'm going to go with Nestor.
So I thought that Marcus Stroman had a solid game. I thought Nestor obviously had a good series. Clark Schmidt pitched very well. Yeah, Nestor Cortez, 9 strikeouts in 6 1/3 innings. In that rain, it's pretty impressive. So, yeah, it looks like Nestor's going to win. Although
ran away with it.
Yeah, I think so. Although those 1 1/3 from my man Clay Holmes was fantastic as well. Very important. But yeah, it looks like Nasty Nestor in the nasty weather gets the award. He pitched the best. I don't think there's too much of a doubt about that. Okay, let's get to the Aaron Boone rating out of 10. Let's start with Rob.
I'll give him an 8. He had fine series. Now, I don't blame him necessarily for going to Hamilton because he's still one of his better pitchers in the bullpen. He kind of has limited options, so I'll give him an 8. He was fine.
Okay, T.
I'll go 9 out of 10. I would have given him a 10 if he would have put Verdugo right back into the cleanup spot rather than that sorry excuse for putting him 6th. But just I don't want to. I don't think he should be punished too much for the lineup because we came out with the sweep. And you could criticize the Hamilton move, but he's been reliable. So you can't punish him too much for that. I'd say 9 out of 10.
I'm going to give him a 9 purely for the hit and run that he executed perfectly. Do you know how nice it was to see a hit and run? Oh, it was just.
I thought I was seeing things.
Music to my ears. It was like, oh my god, old school baseball. I love
what game am I watching?
9 out of 10, just for that hit and run alone. That was brilliant. Let's ask the fans. We got a 10. We got 2 7s. We got an 8. Barrow gives him a 10. Okay, so 2 7s, an 8, and a 10. Anybody else with a vote? Looks like we'll be rounding up to around about a 9, I think.
This is where Sunil would drop in a 9.2 or something.
Yeah, don't say his name in case he appears. Lou goes with a 7. 3 7s, 10 and an 8.
And the 777s, we got an 8 in that.
Jackpot. 7.
Like 7 wins. Fans go with 7. All right, Jonathan, 9.3. Thank you, Jonathan.
God damn it, Jonathan.
We'll let that one slide for today, Jonathan. But...
Put him in the bathroom.
The L award. Let's ask Uncle Tats.
The L?
Yep.
Oof. I'll give. It's hard because I don't. I'm going to give the L to Volpe.
Yeah. He had a bad series.
They're trusting you, like we were talking about earlier. They're trusting you, and they're writing it out with you in the leadoff spot. You're not adjusting. So I got to give Volpe the L.
And he also mishandled that ground ball in that double play, which tied the game, which meant we had to walk it off.
It wasn't his best series.
No, he did mishandle that DP. To be fair, you need to be fielding absolutely 100. You need to be sharper with that in big spots. Lots of votes for Volpe. Let's ask Rob.
Yeah, it's got to be Volpe. He had probably the worst series out of anybody.
Yeah,
it sucks, but
hey,
kid, get better tomorrow. That's all we can ask for you.
We've got a lot of votes for Volpe. One for rain-soaked field. I don't think, to be honest, I think the grounds crew did great keeping that competitive, keeping that an actual game for 8 innings in that rain all day long. I'd actually give a positive award to the grounds crew. I'd give the L to the umpires for stupidly calling for a rain delay in the 8th inning when they could have just canceled the freaking game at the start. The fans just sitting around like morons. You know what I mean? Send them home. The Tigers have a road trip. They could have left early, and instead they had to sit around and wait and wait and wait. That's just terrible. That's from the umpires. It's nothing to do with the grounds crew. So I think the grounds crew did a great job. They kept the field safe, and they still made it a good game. So Salute to the grounds crew. Volpe. Looks like Volpe is going to win, but I'm gonna give Volpe the benefit of the doubt because he's been so good. Torres was just as bad. He got a couple of hits, but he made some more bonehead plays. I didn't like his base running through the whole series. There was times where he just made the wrong decision on the base pass. Like he almost injured the second baseman running right through him. He's not a smart baseball player. And then granted more double plays, and I just can't stand him. I cannot stand him. Gleyber Torres takes the L for me.
Yeah, Spencer's vote was for Torres as well.
Yeah, I just cannot bear him. We need him gone. Medina says Torres pick is too easy.
Yeah,
That's true. Well, no one else voted for him, so I'm taking that opportunity. He continues to get the L for that and the Prick Award. I think this is going to be unanimous. Rob, is your prick?
Yeah, the smaller version of Sal Licata, that jackass for throwing out the captain for no reason. Prick.
Yeah. What is the name of that prick?
Who cares?
Yeah, no, I saw one comparison to him, and yeah, he gets the umpire gets the Prick Award for me. What was it? Blackney. Okay. But somebody had put out that he looks like a hybrid between Bryant Cashman and Brett Gardner. And
it's disrespectful.
I can't see that now.
Yeah. Those two are infinitely more important than that little prick.
Troll.
Ryan Blackney is definitely the prick. He's the prick's prick. Just ridiculous. In fact, I thought the whole umpiring crew in general, I thought the series was called horribly. I thought the balls to strikes were called horribly. I thought they took the bat out of Soto's hands a lot through the entire series, so he didn't even get the amount of hits that I think he would have merited. But the umpire called a lot of bullshit calls on him, called a lot of bullshit strikes on Judge, and I thought what they did in the bottom of the eighth, dude, you either call the game or you play another half inning, because at the end of the day, the game was the bottom of the eighth. It was going to last another 15 minutes anyway. So what difference is 15 minutes going to make when you played through torrential rain for the first 2.5 hours? It just doesn't make sense. Instead, you got fans just sitting in the rain. I mean, that's not fair on them. It's not fair on the Tigers, who have a road trip. It's just unfair in general. So the umpire's decision-making was just perplexing, odd, and wrong. If you feel that it's not safe, then fine, call it. It should have been called anyway. So, I'm it's Blackney / the umpiring crew. I thought the umpires were just all around dreadful, but especially Blackney, because that dude is a moron. All Judge said was bullshit call under his breath as he's walking away, and he started up a storm. You can't say that! Oh, you big fucking baby. Come on. Go on unfucking... Yeah, just get a hold of yourself. Get a hold of yourself. Stop making it about yourself. You are an absolute moron. So the Prick's Prick Award is Blackney, the umpire, / the rest of the umpiring crew for that weird decision in the bottom of the eighth. Field was unplayable. Fine. Then call the game immediately then. Why was there a rain delay? What was the rain delay going to do? It was stupid.
Rodrigo's foot slipped from under him.
Yes, exactly. So call the game. Why was it sitting around for half an hour, 45 minutes? It was stupid. What do you think was going to happen? The field wasn't magically going to get fixed.
So, like one of the guys I worked with was at his family, was at his family's for dinner, and they had the game on, and he's not a fan. He'll follow the Yankees, so he knows what the hell I'm talking about. But they actually had the game on, and he texts me, he's like, "They actually play in this weather?" like, apparently, you know. So it's usually, I don't know if it's because it was that late in the game that, like, another 10, 15 minutes, we're out of here anyway. You know, but I mean, that was bad. What's going on, Kyle? You know, that was terrible.
Yeah,
That field
we're
was
lucky
unexpected.
Verdugo didn't get
You were
hurt.
waiting for an injury to happen.
Yeah, we're lucky Verdugo didn't get hurt when he slipped out of the batter's box. That was pretty much the indicator right there and then that it wasn't safe to continue. So, in my opinion, they should have just called the game then and there. It was already a game to
Now
call.
that also depends on if MLB said no, just let's get this game out of the way.
Very odd.
This far in, because MLB has to approve the delays.
Anyway, that's our awards for the day. Final thoughts, Rob.
Go beat Houston. That's my final thoughts.
Yeah, kick them all the way down. That's it. Just embarrass them. We started their tailspin this season. Let's just continue it. Just don't let up. Just beat the hell out of them.
My final thoughts is let's hope this is the start of the Soto and Judge superhero story. The two of them leading this team for the rest of the year, just competing with each other for who has the best year. Soto's going to win because he's having the fucking mind-blowing year. But
yeah,
it looks like Judge is coming back. So let's make it a fun rest of the year between Judge and Soto. Every day, making history. That's what I'm rooting for.
Yep. And that is going to wrap things up for us on this Monday morning. Hope everybody enjoyed the show as much as we did. Appreciate everybody that hung out with us in the chat. And also anybody that was watching on Facebook. If you can, just remember, hop over to YouTube, hit that sub button, join the family, and join the chat on the YouTube side, because the YouTube chat is always on fire. So, and we always love interacting with everybody in the chat. So continue to drop your comments as you guys always do. So with that being said, hit that like button, hit that sub button, share this out with your friends, your family, the stranger on the corner. This has been the Pinstripe Chronicles, where fans become family. And as I always say, we have pinstripes of pride and play hard.